So in my previous lecture, I have explained you about Java comparison with the other programming language, and I have shown you some of the differences between C, C++, and Java. And today we are planning to install application so we can start working on that. So let's start. But before that, I just wanted to add a few things that we are require Eclipse software, Edit Plus or Java JDK. That thing we need to install on our system. In my system is already installed, so we can try any one of your system. So if you can share any one of you, if you can share your screen, so I can uh, suggest you, means I can help you in installing Eclipse IDE. That will be helpful in our whole course. And the same recording I will going to upload in a channel so that you can do it in your system also. Other can do it in your system. So let's start. Any one of you can share your screen, because in my system Eclipse I have already explained. So if any one of you can share a screen, so we can do it. Harshit, do you want to try, or anyone who has joined with the system, anyone who can try with the system so I can explain.
Sir, mine is installed already.
Okay, you have anyone else who can share your screen so I can show, or I can explain the installation, how the installation done. So you might have installed Edit Plus software also and JDK. I'm assuming that you have installed JDK and Edit Plus in your in your system. So in future, while doing a project, if anyone asks like installation, I will not going to tell. I'm If you now when I'm asking, everyone is saying they have installed in their system, right? So I'm directly coming to the programs. So you can see here, I have added a screenshot that I in the last class also I've explained you. While writing the programs, what are the things that you might require, that the structure of program will be in the form of class and object. As Java is an object oriented programming language, so your program will be completely in the form of class and object. Okay, so here this is a class hello, and this public static void main is a function that is responsible for running your whole program. So whatever logic you write, where you're going to write, the logic will be right, you're going to write inside this curly braces inside the main function. Now in this main function, if you have done work on a C language, you have already done work, or you have already written a program in that. So you might have seen that in C language we just add void and main, but in Java, in main function we are adding this public static void main string argument. So anyone know about it, like what is this void? You might have work on C language. Then what is this void here in this main function? Why do we use void? Why do we use void? Do you know any one of you?
Sir, it doesn't return any value, sir.
Yeah, it is called as an empty data type, correct? Void doesn't return anything. In place of void, you can use integer and float, double in a C language and so all. You might have seen that. It means that you are returning a integer value, float value, double value, like that. But here void is a empty data type. We say that whenever you use void with a main function, return means what? It will not going to return anything inside the memory. Return means not like return. Actually, return we use return. It doesn't mean to return back. Not that one. Return means it will not going to write down anything inside the memory. Write down means it will not going to write anything in the memory. So what do you mean by this public static void main? And this public is a term is called as an access specifier. Let me explain you. This term public is an access specifier. What do you mean by this access specifier? It tells you accessibility mode, means who can access that code, who can access that function. Who can access that function, that is called access specifier. We call as visibility mode also. Like this one can be public, protected, and private. Suppose if I declare this as a private, then nobody can use this function outside this class. If suppose any external person want to access this method, he cannot use that. Why? Because there is a private here. Public means anyone can use this method. Okay, that's why we add a public here. What do you mean by static? Static in the sense, whenever you declare this method as a static, it means that you don't need to create any object for this method. It can be directly accessed inside the class. So static keyword, why do we add? You might have studied in a C language. Have you ever worked on static keyword or any static program? Have you ever worked on this static keyword? Any one of you? Anyone know about this static keyword?
Sir, it is a storage class specifiers.
Storage class? No, I don't think. Means static actually the term. Okay, storage class, auto static. Okay, in that term you are saying. Okay. Memory management. No, I don't think. Memory management. Okay. Static actually use static is a keyword whenever you add with any function. It means that to execute that function or to use that static variable are also there. To use that variable or a function, you don't need to create any object. You can directly access with the class name. So static keyword can be directly accessed with a class name also. It means that if I write like a hello.main, then with the name of a class also you can access it. Yeah, memory allocation. Yes, there are four type of memory allocations are there: auto, register, statics, and all. So inside this memory, we can use it. Heap space. Okay. Yeah, Kirtana, you are also same, but not direct way, indirectly. But you said correct in memory management. I will explain that part also, how the memory management works. So this access specifier first, then static keyword when you add with the function, it means that you can access directly without creating any object with the name of a class. Void is an empty data type. It means that it will not going to return anything. And a main is a function. Main is a function that is used to execute the whole program. Main is a function that is used to execute the whole program. So main inside that main function, this string argument is what? This string argument means it will going to accept the number of input. So in this main function, whenever you add this string argument, see how you're going to hold those argument, or you can say the input. Suppose if I want to perform addition, okay. Suppose I want to perform addition and I'm passing three input to it, that I want to do addition of this three number. Okay, between these three number. So when you're going to pass this three number, your program should hold this three numbers somewhere inside the memory, right? So we use a string argument. This is an array. This you can see the subscript and square bracket. If you have done work in the array in a C programming language, you might be aware about it. What is this array? So here you will going to save this input in an array. And why I took this string? Because this input can be of any type. It can be either float, it can be either double, it can be either any character value also if we perform any other operation other than add. So it can be anything. So you can't decide it, right? You can't change it all the time, this data type. So in order to prevent that, we just took it as a string. And argument means argument is a variable of an array which is holding this input. So ultimately you are accepting this input here. So you are saving this 1 2 3 in this string array whose name is argument. And you can just print hello world. So in order to print that in C language, how do you write the print? You write like this: printf person d. You write person d, then you write element like C. Suppose you want to print addition, or you can write like this also. Just 1 minute. So you can see here that when I'm adding here this 1 2 3, right? So in C language, how do you write this? In C language, you write like this. So in C language, when you want to print anything, how do you write the instruction? You write like this because this is a decimal value. So you write percent %d, and then inside the bracket you can write like +1 2 +3. You're going to close and put the terminate symbol, right? But in Java, when you want to print anything, you have to write system.out.println. Why do we write println and system out? System out means that you are going to accept the input from the keyboard, and this system out println you need to write down to print this statement. So here, whatever you are going to write inside this double code, you will going to print that. And system out println. Println means for new line. Similarly, in C language also, if you write like percent printf /n, if you write here /n, it will going to print in the next line. So similarly here also in Java, when you write println, it will going to print this. So which instruction do we use for printing in Java? System.out.println hello world. So I hope it is clear to you how to print that. So what is the structure of usually programs? Structure of program is like this. I will going to show you practically how we do that. Just give a minute. Let me show you. So I'm opening the Eclipse. Just give a minute. Hope everyone they can see my screen, right? So this is an Eclipse software that we usually do to write programs in Java. So once it open, we can start writing. But there are a few more things that you have to do it, right? For example, in my last class, I have explained one program. So I will going to start from the beginning. Whenever you want to start any program, how you're going to do that? Click on the file, click new, click on this Java project, select the Java project, give the name here. So I'm giving a name interview preparation, or let me give interview coding. Once you give any name, always remember the first name of your project should be capital. It's a standard technique, means it's a standard matter to give a name as a capital. But even if you give small, that also work. But I usually give a, because when you give it capital, it reflects something else. Like it's reflect that you are building a complete project. Once you are given the name, click on the next button, next option, then click on the finish. As you click on the finish, then it will going to prompt this screen. Don't click on this don't create. It's a just a module it is saying, but click on don't create. So now you can see here I created one folder which is name interview coding. In this src, click on right click on this, click on new, click on this class. As Java is having an OOP concept, everything in the Java is in the form of class and object. Now let's give the name program one. I'm giving a name here, program one. Here also, it's a standard method to give a name as a capital letter. The first letter should be capital, and click on the finish. As you click on the finish, you will get it here. You can see public class name, whatever you are given, and this method will come by default. Now inside this, you can try anything that you wanted to print.
Sir, do we need to create any workspace for this?
Workspace will be created or means by default while installation,
Okay.
because while installation, I have selected my D drive, but by default
Okay.
it take C drive workspace. So when you open your
Okay.
Eclipse, it will give you an option which workspace you want. So based
Okay.
on that, right now, if you go to the D drive, you will get all those code that you are doing. So now you can see here,
Mhm.
I'm doing one addition program. I created a 3 variable. So in this A variable, I'm taking one 10. In B, I'm taking suppose 24, and C is a variable. Now I wanted to print the addition. So you can print in two way. Either you can write like C is equal to A plus B. This is a normal addition program, and you can print it like this, system dot out. You can say it will going to suggest you also whenever you write it, print ln, and inside this you can write down whatever you will going to write in a double quote, it will going to print as it is. Okay, so my addition will be print as it is. Now I will going to, in order to print the content of variable, I need to write plus C. Why I'm writing plus C? Because it will going to print this addition part as it is, and plus C is a value that I am getting after doing the addition of A and B here. Okay, so now here, what is this A and B here? A and B are the variable of what data type? Integer data type. So I've already explained in my lectures regarding this. Like there are different data types are there, but I will going to go in a depth and explain you every data types and operator. Here is an integer operator, sorry, integer data type. The data type of A and B is integer. Similarly, C also integer, and I'm going to do addition here, and I'm printing here. So this public, now the term public is by default coming, because suppose if you want to use this program one into another program, then this program should be public. For example, suppose you are like for example, I'm giving an example. Suppose you're working in a Microsoft. Okay, so in Microsoft, you develop a Microsoft 8 Windows 8 operating system. Now you wanted to develop Windows 10, right? So you wanted to develop a Windows 10. So whenever we develop any operating system, we never develop it from the fresh, because it will going to consume lot of time, right? Obviously, when you are going to develop any operating system, it will going to take lot of time, right? So what we do, we reuse the code of Windows 8 and we add additional feature, just like uh, Windows 11 now introduced in the market. So we never develop any operating system from the fresh. If we are continuing the version, if we are follow the same chain like Windows 7 XP, we just add a new feature. So that's the reason when Windows 11 also similar to Windows 10 with some additional feature. So in that case, you have to reuse the code of Windows 8. So when you want to reuse the code of Windows 8, that code should be public, right? Then only the every employee or any developer who are working in Microsoft, they can use it. Suppose if I not make it public and you wanted to access this, you won't get it. Yeah, now you can see I remove the public here, but there is no error here. Why? Because I'm not using this program anywhere. But suppose if I want to use this program 1 in program 2, then I might get an error. Why? Because this is not a public class. So there are other also, what are the other access specifier? They are private are there. That means it is private to this program. Okay, you can say it is a private. Similarly, there is another protected is also there. Protected is one more specifier is there. So but we usually add public because we want our code to be accessible by anyone. But suppose when you are working in any organization and you have a restriction, then we do not add a public so that it cannot be used unauthentically by anyone, right? So this is called access specifier. Now once you write down the code, how you're going to run that? In order to run a program, there are two ways. Either you can run clicking on this green button. Here it will going to show you this is your project folder. In that project folder, this is the name of your program. You can see the extension of program is .java. Then just click on the OK because you want to run the same file, and you can see the addition is 34. 10 plus 24 will be 34, right? So you can see as it is coming. Addition colon, it's coming, and plus C is giving the result of A plus B. There is one more way of running the program. Right click the file, go to this run as, and run as Java application, because this is a application or a software for doing addition of two number. So you can see same output you are getting, right? So this is a way of running the programs. Similarly, you can try it for other operation also. Now this is about your program structure. This is your class name. Okay, this is your main function, who is responsible for running your program. What is this? This is a variable. This is a your operator or expression that you use for addition.
Sir, is there any other way to write the print statements? Sir?
Uh,
In
no,
like in C, we directly write the C, sir. C, no, sir, like that. It is mandatory to write plus C, or you can directly write or C, sir.
no. You if you write plus, if you do not add a plus here, okay, you can see here you will get an output. Sorry, you will get an error because it won't. Your compiler won't identify it. Every program they have some structure, right? So we need to follow that. So you cannot write like this. You can see here, if I give a comma, normally in a C language, we just add a comma and we add a variable. So it is giving error in this part, right? Your it won't be able to identify that. So that's the reason. But instead of in Java, instead of adding comma, we add plus operator. Means in addition, means the content plus the value it will going to show you.
Okay, sir.
See, I already told you while printing, this is of string type, right? So when you use plus operator with string, it will going to perform concatenation. I will going to come to that detail in that part. As of now, you just think that for printing, you just have to add a plus operator and the variable that you wanted to print. Okay. Similarly, you can perform other also. D is equal to suppose B minus A for subtraction. E is equal to A into B. Now anyone can tell me why I'm getting error. Just apply your logic based on your understanding why I'm getting error.
Semicolon.
Semicolon.
Okay, let me add semicolon. But still I'm getting error. Just think once why I'm getting error.
Sir, data type is variable is
Yeah.
not initialized.
Yes, correct. Data type, we have not defined the data type for D, E, and G. That's why we were getting error. Now see, as I added here, the error is removed, right? Now similarly, I will going to print this. Now D will going to give you the subtraction part. So in interview, they might ask you this question. It happens, they will going to give you code snippet. What do you mean by code snippet? They will give you such question in online form or online exam where they will say you, they will not define a data type, and they will say that the line 9, 10, 11 is having error. Can you just find it out? And they will give you 4 option. Maybe terminate, not declare a data type, or memory error, or anything. You have to select that. So that's why I've given this. So you now, if anyone asks you, you should be careful while giving the answer. So now see, we are getting the correct result, right? Addition. Okay, yeah, let me change it here. Now one more thing, yeah, you can see here whatever I'm printing in a double quote I'm taking here, it is printing as it is, right? So that's the reason whatever you will going to write, it will going to print as it is. So let's make a correction here. Now let me rerun it. So now see here, we are getting the correct output, right? So before start learning Java, you should be able to get the you should be familiar with this environment also. Like what is this file, edit, source, refactor, navigator. So in this file, you will get all the option with respect to creating a file, workspace that you are talking about. Let me click on this workspace other. So my current workspace is this one. If you want, you can change it also. You can browse it and select the folder where you want to keep all this file. Now inside my D drive, all the file will be there. In my D drive, there will be an Eclipse workspace folder which is having all the file. Can you see my screen? You can see this is my D drive. In that D drive, I have this Eclipse workspace. When I click on Eclipse workspace, I have all those 2 projects. Java intern I explained in my last class, and interview coding is this one. if you go to this src, you will get this file having an extension .java. If you want, you can open with the any of the IDE like Notepad++ or anything. Let me select open with Notepad and click OK. So it will go, you can see the code, right? Same thing, you can see it.